5 as you make your way along the 15 into the Cajon Pass. Delays from the 210 in stretches to the 138. Crowded out of West LA, northbound side of the 405. From the 10, looking a lot better by Nordoff and North Hills. And the southbound side of the 405. Crowded through Culver City from the 10 to the 90. And some pocket delays off of the 105 as you continue ahead towards the 110 freeway. It's clearing out in Anaheim Hills, 91 eastbound. Still a little slow moving off of the 55 better by Imperial Highway.
Attention parents, California Baptist University offers a pre-college credit program. That's right, high school students can get pre-college credit at CBU. Start the new year right with a free online course. Classes start January 6th. Apply for free at calbaptist.edu/PCC.
What up, y'all?
When the flames subside, who ensures that the stories endure? At KBLA Talk 1580, we're committed to preserving the...
What up?
...our community. We know people have short memories. And as long as this Black Talk radio station is on the air, we will not let Altadena be forgotten. We are honored to announce that the Altadena Historical Society will officially archive our recent town hall alongside every episode of Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. This is
Hey.
record, the definitive source for
Hey. How is everybody?
and reunion. These stories will
Everybody hit that like button. Come in. Hit the like button. Like it, subscribe, share it. Let's get it streaming. Let's get in the algorithm. Let's get popping.
It's honored, it's recorded, and it's passed forward. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
I hope you're okay. It's crazy. Tonight's crazy.
So I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, just gets heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light.
How you be? I'm good. Here we go. Hit the like button. It's only 10 of us in here. That should be an automatic 10 likes. Let's go. Search first, gatekeeper. Cuzzo! What up? Yes, sir.
Now, what is the root of fear? Is it not time, right? I might be ill. I might lose my job. I'm afraid my wife might get angry, right? Is not fear the movement of time from the past to the present, from the present to the future? All that is movement, which is called time. Now, is that not movement of time thought? I think I might lose my job. I think my wife may be angry. So can you observe the movement of time, which is thought, which is the root of fear. Observe it without trying to do something about it, without you wanting something out of it. Then the very root of fear is beginning to completely change. The root begins to dissolve. Now,
See, now y'all done upset me. We got to shout out Krishnamurti. It's his birthday today. We got to give Krishnamurti his flowers. It's his birthday today. But he starts the topic right on point. Fear as a movement in time. And that's going to lead us right up to the crux of today's topic. See, somebody told you, just because you say that's my man, or that's my woman, or that's my person, that, you can control the situation, right? See, let me explain something to you about control. Control is the opposite side of fear. This is why you seek to control. Look at it in terms of a corporation. A corporation's human resource department. They can't just hire anybody. They've got a checklist. And they got to make sure that, you check all of the boxes in order to come into their work environment. Isn't a relationship a work environment? Yes, it's a self-work environment. Oh, goodness. So that process of being hired to a new corporation or a new job, a new career, right? They have something that is called an onboarding process. You got to check some boxes in order. There's a probationary period. Ooh, Lord. Does this not happen in intimate relationship? Tonight's topic, the relationship onboarding process. An intriguing look into the process of vetting your person. Let me tell you something about psychology. Psychologists will tell you the way the human brain is set up, the way the mind is set up, the way the consciousness is set up, the way consciousness is set up, you don't know the difference between good and evil, right and wrong. You don't. You really can't tell the difference. So what do? You try to control out of fear. Back to the great Krishnamurti. Now, I try to tell folk all the time, relationships are not a place where you just get satisfaction. Sometimes you get dissatisfaction, right? For the purpose of growing you up. But we live in a society that wants to be satisfied all the time, satiated all the time, stimulated all the time, feel goods, good vibes only. Now, black and white thinking is a mental disorder. But I've never heard anybody say good vibes only is black and white thinking. And it is. Most of us are moving out of fear when it comes to relationship. We're moving out of fear. We're afraid to be hurt. We're afraid to be left. We're afraid to be condemned. Right? This is what happens. So we have a vetting process. And if we're honest, can we be honest? Has the vetting process worked? Can we be honest? Has the vetting process worked? Because if it works for a time, does that mean the person was performing until they got to a certain point? I'm interested to know. What are your thoughts? 1-800-920-1580. Human breeding programs, how partner vetting secretly furthers eugenic ideals You mean like the eugenicists from back in the past? You mean like Planned Parenthood, like Margaret Sanger? Human breeding programs, how partner vetting secretly furthers eugenic ideas. Here's your psychological insight. Attachment theory weaponized through secure style mandates. Oh, it creates this exclusionary hierarchy mirroring 20th century eugenics. Bowlby meets Galton. Your philosophical insight. Kantian categorical imperative corrupted into checklist ethics that dehumanize neurodivergent lovers. Checklist. Something wrong with you. Who raised you? As if you're better? And say, well, isn't a checklist necessary? What is it based on? Is it based on your healed self? Or is it based on, here you go, the supply that your unhealed wound requires? I'm interested to know. Karmic loops form when we judge partners' past, ensuring identical scrutiny rebounds in future lives, according to Thomas Campbell's My Big Toe. In other words, what you do to somebody else is going to be done to you. OkCupid data shows 92% swiped left on profiles mentioning therapy, meaning mental health stigma is encoded in the digital algorithms, according to Rudder, 2014. Emotional slavery contracts? What? The BDSM dynamics of modern commitment. Here's your psychological insight. Healthy boundaries rhetoric mask covert dominance submission rituals. According to David Deida's polarity principle, it's being weaponized. I'll do this in exchange for that. I'll submit in exchange for resources, protection, security, finance, and vice versa, right? Weaponized what? Weaponized what? Weaponized empathy? Weaponized money? Here's your psychological or your philosophical insight. Social contract theory perverted into trauma-bonded, mutually assured destruction, according to Hobbes, Leviathan in couples therapy. Here's your metaphysical insight. Soul ties form faster through conflict than harmony, per shamanic entanglement principles. Harner's core shamanism. See, you don't even know what to look for, because relationship is about the excavation and cultivation of self-knowledge. You don't go in looking at you. You're going in expecting whatever it is you want from that person. You go in thinking, I'm okay. There's nothing to be worked on here. I showed up right. And you know in your heart, most of you are performing. fMRI scans prove arguments trigger stronger dopamine spikes than compliments in codependent pairs, according to Fisher in 2017. Most of us have a pedigree fetish. Oh, my man works for Microsoft. My man works for Steve Ballmer. He's Steve Ballmer's right-hand man. My man is a producer. My man is an actor. My man went to Harvard. Or my woman, right? Pedigree fetish. You think you know how to vet somebody when you refuse to embrace the unhealed wounds in yourself. How elite education vetting perpetuates cognitive inbreeding. What is cognitive inbreeding? Here's your psychological insight. Ivy League fixation satisfies parental introjects, not actual compatibility. right? We went to the same school. We have a great education. But that doesn't speak to compatibility. This is according to Bowen's family systems theory. Philosophical insight, credential worship. Listen, credential worship. You won't even, did Jesus have a degree? Was Jesus formally educated? Was the Buddha formally educated? Or should we say formally indoctrinated? Yeah, right? If you showed up today, would you say, what school did you go to? In order for me to listen? Jesus was never married. If he showed up today, would you say, how can you speak on marriage? You've never been married. Would you say that to him? This is deep. Credential worship, right, commits the appeal to authority fallacy while claiming relational vetting. Russell's critique of elitism. Your metaphysical insight. Overdeveloped crown chakra from academic achievement blocks heart chakra intimacy. Judith's chakra psychology. Your empirical insight, 78% of Harvard couples divorce within 15 years versus 53% national average, according to NBER 2022. Many of us are unaware that we're involved in the trauma industrial complex. How therapy speaks, or therapy speak, creates new relationship prisons. Your psychological insight, over-labeling attachment styles become self-fulfilling prophecies. According to Seligman's learned helplessness. I might be guilty of that. Here's your psychological insight, or your philosophical insight. I know people don't want to hear it, right? We have to talk about it. How do you vet someone out when you're self-avoidant and self-ignorant? Nobody wants to hear. I'm not trying to besmirch anybody. I'm just saying this is how we're all conditioned. We're conditioned to be self-avoidant and self-ignorant. And we put the onus on the person to show up and fit, right, our checklist. You don't know how to interact with a spirit, a being. And I'm not saying it isn't important on a social level. But for most people, that's all it is the social level. What school did you go to? What field are you in? Where do you live? Do you have transportation? Do you see? Go even deeper. Do you have any STIs? Have you ever had any STIs? We're vetting people out, right? You got any STDs? We're vetting, right? But nobody knows how to vet the soul because they refuse to look into their own. Here we go. The voice of reason is on complete fire tonight when we come forward. If you think I'm done, you're absolutely wrong.
On KBLA Talk 15.
What up, y'all? Can I get everybody to hit the like button? Hey, somebody gave $2. Let me say thank you to that person. Whoever that was, who gave us the $2? Who gave it to us? Oh, it's Herschel. Thank you, Herschel. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Herschel. Herschel is always in the building, man. We appreciate the love, man. Hey, who's going to call? Man, Herschel, man, you've been a godsend, and we appreciate you, brother. Not just because you send bread consistently, but because remember, early on, you were calling in. You were calling in, bro. And you were getting something out of this, man. And I think you still are. That's why you keep coming back. And I appreciate that. You understand? That's the purpose of the whole platform. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. You know what I mean? Chipped into the Now and Later fund is crazy, true? Hey. What's that song from Attila? This applies to our conversation. What is that song from T.I.? Zoe looked like the school to prison pipeline. Attach wounds, the pipeline to the trauma. Ooh. Yes. Zoe like the school to. Yes. What's that song T.I. be talking about? Big things. What is it? Big things popping, little things. Somebody help me. Man, I'm old. I done forgot everything. Shit. That's the name of the song, right? What up, the Wife School Podcast? What up? Everybody get in here. Hit that like button. Share, subscribe, do it all. I got a fly playlist, too.
The right person is gonna be like, oh my God, like, you won't do that? Like, I love you. Like, you, oh my God, I get a chance to lick your wounds. I get a chance to be intimate with that. I get an opportunity to take this brokenness, and I get the one that gets to say, I put that back together. I did that. Like, that's a stand-up man. That's a stand-up woman. That's a stand-up person. No, looking for that. Right.
No, we're looking for the wrong thing. What in the feast of Samhain is being pushed out here? Listen, nobody can do your work. We've already talked about it. I can walk with you as you bear your cross. But I can't walk you all the way to your Calvary and get on that damn cross for you. Your self-work is for you. Everybody's looking to be saved from the outside in. And it just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Psychology falls short when it comes to spiritual understanding. A great partner, a committed partner, is a solid companion, a faithful companion, an invested, committed companion that's going to walk with you, that's going to encourage you, that's going to uplift you, that's going to pour words of affirmation into you. Yes, but they can't do it for you. The work of you, right? Somebody said Prince Charming is coming, but we already know Disney is a fallacy. The greatest fear in your life is looking into yourself, looking into your own dark heart. Here, simple test. Simple test. Sit down with anybody. I don't care who they are. Sit down with anybody. Name 5 things that make you undateable and unrelatable to other people. People will struggle answering that. But if you do it in reverse and say, name 5 things that make you relatable and dateable. Dateable and relatable. I'm funny. Yeah, I can cook. I got a nice style. I dress nice. I'm fun. I'm outgoing. They got a whole litany of things they can say. But if you reverse it and say, can you name 5 things about your character that make you difficult to deal with? That make you difficult to understand? Ooh. So if you can't say it about yourself, why do you have a checklist? I'm a vet you out. Corporate style partner vetting, sexual histories as background checks, attachment styles as credit scores, constructs precisely the trauma it claims to prevent. Neuroscience confirms obsessive red flag documentation trains the amygdala to weaponize hypervigilance, according to van der Kolk. Right? While quantum mechanics reveals vetting rituals entangle lovers in shared delusions of control. Your thorough onboarding enacts a karmic boomerang. The unintegrated shadow, according to Jung, you project onto your partner's past becomes your relational future. Data proves 89% of checklist-driven relationships implode within 18 months, according to Gottman Institute 2023. Victims of self-fulfilling prophecies masquerading as discernment. The brutal truth, you have no idea who they are because you don't know who you are. When we come forward, if you think I'm done, you're absolutely wrong.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks
Where y'all at?
dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works.
Where y'all at?
The questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Phil Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What uppers?
The defense argues it's just about his private life, but Combs faces life in prison if convicted.
Hey, what's
Baltimore
macking?
Mayor Brandon Scott is speaking out.
Suge Mac 510. Hey, what do y'all think about the playlist so far? I wanted to play just a little bit of it. I know I'm gonna get a copyright strike for it. But what do y'all think about the tracks I'm playing right now? Who's calling? Y'all not gonna call tonight? Listen, I'd rather y'all just say, so I ain't gonna call, than have me sitting here asking y'all to call and it be crickets. Just say I'm not calling. And I fuck with that. It at least put me in the mindset of I'm doing it on my own tonight. There we go. See, I like that. T.O., I ain't gonna call. I fuck with that. You're not gonna call? Just say it. Let's do a I ain't gonna call roll call. Can we do that? Can I get a I ain't gonna call roll call? If you're not calling in, just check in and say I ain't call. There we go. Hi, Zoe, I'm not calling in. Thank you. This works for me. This helps me. Right? I ain't gonna call. Thank you. The Wife School Podcast. Thank you. This helps me. I would if I could, though. I hear you. Who got my niece's attention? Oh, Lord. Well, if I know you, you're probably working. Tio ain't right. It's probably because you're working. When I tell you, my niece is Jamaican. What up? Guess who gonna be back on American soil tomorrow? James Collier. What up, brother?
Featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number because Ray, he's going to text it live and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at the Miracle
Boy, Cooper Flag.
before I diagnose your dating
This shit
history
crazy.
as a pre-existing condition.
That's crazy.
1% chance of even getting the number 1 pick.
That's crazy. Hey, we can't play Prince. I know that. Prince people be like, give me that.
You're listening to I think the word heal can be abused, and it can be substituted with something like develop and grow.
Yeah, develop and grow. I personally don't like the word healing. I use it because it's common language for so many people. Because I just feel like it has a negative connotation to it. Like this whole idea about healing is returning back to the person that you were before life scarred you, and I just think that makes absolutely no sense, because how do you know?
Yeah, and how do you know that you got scarred and got harmed? It's like, that's like, I don't understand that. It's like we come out the womb crying, like it's hard.
That's true, man. Like you can say that.
Hey, listen, I love Raquel Hopkins. I love her work. Not gonna get an argument out of me. But we gotta stop villainizing the terms and start pointing the finger where it goes. The comprehension. Oh, I don't like the word. It's being misused. No, it's being misunderstood. Heal simply means whole. Whole. W-H-O-L-E. Whole. Complete. Can't do that unless you individuate. According to Jung, individuation is when your mask and your shadow come together. That's when you're a whole person. You can't be a whole person unless you do the work. So individuation is a synonym for healing. Do you see? So we don't have to get confused about it. It's people using the term incorrectly. But what do? We go right to the term. Say, I don't like the term. Yeah, I don't like the way people use. Listen, healing is becoming whole. Do you understand? You can't become whole if you're self-avoidant. Do you understand? The brutal truth. Vetting's corporate HR hellscape. STI disclosures. Employment interrogations. Trauma autopsies. Constitutes intimacy's original sin. Mistaking fear's performative theater for wisdom's quiet gaze. To love authentically demands radical non-vetting, embracing partners as mirrors of your unlived chaos, according to Krishnamurti, not prisoners of your curated past. What does that mean? Oh, I'm a pick a person, right, that totally caters to what trauma made me. Woo! That's empathetic to my coping mechanisms. Trauma molded me into this person. And because I don't have the testicular fortitude or the vaginal fortitude to go in and confront myself, it's on my partner. Do you see? To live authentically demands radical non-vetting. What is radical non-vetting? See, listen, you live in a capitalistic society, a materialistic society, a transactional society. So yes, I know it's unrealistic to say non-vetting, radical non-vetting. Fake people need the vetting process, because if they can check off the superficial things, they can get a fit for what they want to do. What do they want to do? Be stimulated. That's most people. They want stimulation, movement, activity. What are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? This is what they want. Is that not a form of escapism? The real work in relationship is self-discovery. To love authentically demands radical non-vetting. You can't vet anybody but yourself, and you refuse to vet yourself because of the very thing that Carl Jung talked about. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid looking at themselves. Do you see? To love authentically demands radical non-vetting, embracing partners as mirrors of your unlived chaos, not prisoners of your curated past. As long as you make my wounds comfortable, you're the right one. The path forward? Replace integration with invocation. Co-create through mutual annihilation of each other's certainty. Anything less perpetuates love's most toxic mimicry. Safety-obsessed souls building relational zoos while begging for wildness. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. If you fit in this box, if you perform the way I need you to perform, if you show up the way I need you to show up, it makes it okay for me to not show up for myself. They say, well, couldn't two things be true at once? I show up for myself, but I need you to show up? Sure. But that's a balanced person, isn't it? Right? When's the last time you seen somebody show up for themselves? And I mean, really. I'm not trying to be cynical. I'm just asking the question. Right? I know you don't want to hear it put that way. Yes, we gotta vet to some degree. What are we vetting? What are we vetting? We're asking questions. Right? We get the answer. It might be a lie. It might be the truth. But is that truth stable? Will that always be the truth? I doubt it. I know people don't want to hear it put that way, but I have to say this. You understand? That's what tonight's topic is about. Do you really know how to vet someone out if you haven't vetted yourself? Do you? We live in the trauma industrial complex. Everybody knows attachment terms. Everybody knows therapy terms. But if you sit down and you ask that question, what makes you 5 things that make you undateable and unrelatable? Everybody's using exactly, in Zynga, everybody's using narcissists. But if you ask that question, what makes you undateable and unrelatable? Can you name 5 things? Everybody's speaking on boundaries. Keep going. And Zynga is cooking. They talk about narcissism. They talk about boundaries. They talk about attachments. They talk about gaslighting. Trauma is an overused word, right? Everybody knows the psychological terms. But when you turn the lens back on the person and say, did you do this? Did you do this work? Did you overcome you? You guys hear me talk about triggers, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Now, you guys heard me say it this way. If you've been listening to the Voice of Reason on KBLA Talk 1580, you hear me say it this way. Do you have any self-wins? Where one conquers themselves. See, we go into relationships seeking to conquer the other. But relationship is spiritually designed for you to become aware of, take responsibility for, and heal yourself. That's what relationship is for. We've turned it into a vacation spot. And if it's not a vacation spot, it's toxic. Can't be your fault it's toxic. The trauma industrial complex, how therapy speak, creates new relational prisons. Over-labeling attachment styles. Like I said, I'm guilty. Goodness gracious. Hey, I could keep going. And you think I'm done? Wrong.
Is it good to you or Voice of Reason? So Williams, when we come forward.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember, no warrant, no key, you don't have to speak, no lawyer inside, don't say you fail, y'all got right. Call 1-800-GRANGER or Granger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done. Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. You already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
KBLA Top 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge.
What up, y'all? Y'all don't even talk to me no more. What do y'all think of tonight's topic? It's only 20 people in the chat, but it's 43 in here. What do y'all think? Call in. We'd love to hear your point of view. Yes. 1-800-920-1580. Yes, I know, Nzinga. 1-800-920-1580 is the phone line. We talk to you nonstop, Cray Cray. It's true.
The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim.
The topic is interesting. I laughed at the beginning because it's true. I've been trying to you miss my question. What's the question, Herschel?
Then click on autopsy, then click on request. At KBLA,
Herschel, I'm just telling you, it's quite easy. Call in and ask the question.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Top 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with So Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Track 32.
Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? Now, here's the principle that rides beneath the text that most folk overlook. When the text says, "Don't be unequally yoked with another person that is not suitable for you," the suggestion is not to get into the relationship and then discover that this person is not suitable for me, and then try to find an exit clause. The principle is implying, have a process whereby you may determine that this person is not suitable for me before you go too far. Meaning what? You got to have a vetting process. That's why you can't just be meeting somebody today and then talking about in 2 months, I don't know what kind of, some 90-day rule, 3 months or whatever, I don't know what it is. You talking about you're going to jump in the bed with this person. 90 days is not enough time to vet an individual.
any good player can act for 90 days. Any good player can act for 90 days. Any good player. If he really wants you and want to deceive you, any good player can act good and act right for 90 days. Some of them can act good for a whole year. And then the moment they get what they want,
My.
then you start seeing, how, grandma, how big your teeth are. Little Red Riding.
Little Red, what?
When it says be not unequally yoked together, the wisdom is check this thing out before you get tied.
I love R.C. Blakes, but he's absolutely wrong. Self-unaware people can't discern. Let me explain. A long time ago, a friend of mine said the most profound thing ever. She said, if fear is present when you're writing a business plan, fear is being written into the plan. Woo! I said, whoa, hey, hold on. That was from Veronica Conway. She said, if you're in fear, desperation, if this gotta work, or if you're writing your business plan in that mindset, you are writing fear into the business plan. Do you understand? If you are afraid to confront yourself, you don't know what yoked look like. You don't know what equally yoked look like. I'm sorry. You think time is the determining factor. Time has nothing to do with it if you don't have the tools. What tools? Self-observation tools. To see how you're being triggered, how you show up, to see how they're showing up. You come in with one tool, the tool of expectation. If you do this, the tool of demands. If you meet this list, you have no idea what you're doing. And if it feels good, you won't say that that is discernment. Right? Something that feels good in the beginning and turns sour later. You won't say, I discerned that it was good. You'll say, they tricked me. And in the real world, you know what's happening? You know what's happening in the real world? Because of your DNA and ancestral hauntings, you reject the partners that are for you and accept the lessons that will break you. Oh, and it's all, listen, and it's all aligned. You will reject the partner that's for you and accept the partner that will break you. Ooh. Ancestral hauntings. When your DNA rejects chosen partners, the psychological insight, epigenetic triggers from unhealed generational trauma cause unexplained repulsion. Lipton's biology of belief, philosophical insight, right? Leibniz, compossibility principle explains why bloodline histories make certain unions metaphysically impossible. The one you reject because he's not aligned with your mess. You know you want him, but you can't have him. Ooh. Metaphysical insight. Ancestor spirits actively block mismatch relationships through somatic symptoms. Ingerman's shamanic view. All right. Empirical insight. 23andMe data shows 68% shared ethnicity in lasting couples versus 41% in divorced pairs. That's 23andMe 2023. Do you see? You don't know how to vet anybody because you're afraid to look at and embrace yourself as you are. All you have is demands. And what did I say about demands? If you're demanding something, you don't have it. Like the slaves demanded freedom. They didn't have freedom, and they didn't have the power to take freedom. When you command, right, you ain't got to ask. Oh, that's right, Nzinga. We live in a gimme culture. Gimme, gimme, gimme. If you give me this, I'll be good. No, you won't. You'll just be good for now, because sensations are like emotions. They don't last for long, forever. And when the sensation that used to be there when you did a thing goes away, oh, we lost the spark. Oh, what happened to the spark? We used to. Nobody taught you what relationship was for. Right? Listen, when I come forward, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the phone lines. I want to talk to folk. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. And don't forget, we're closing in on 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, May 31st, your brother Zoe Williams, along with Ray Grady, Alpha Male of Comedy, along with clinicians and comedians, we will be at the Miracle Theater. I want all of Los Angeles to come out. Come out to the Miracle Theater. Go to themiracleinglewood.com. Purchase your tickets right now. Get ready, get ready, get ready. The voice of reason. When we come forward, we go into the phone lines. All right. So, as is commonplace, I always ask this question. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Thank you, Nzinga. Crystal clear. Okay. Evening, Empress. Thank you. I just want to make sure that you guys lock in, because y'all, as Tavis Smiley said, you guys are an exceedingly intelligent audience. He says that all the time. You got one of the smartest audiences on radio. Y'all know what I'm talking about. From the slang, from the clinical terms, from the spiritual terms, from the psychological terms. Y'all know. And thank you, Herschel, for the Cash App. Thank you, Herschel. I appreciate it. I do know nothing. I don't know nothing, Tavis. That's crazy. What up, Sugar Crisp? Sugar Crisp. Hey, that's gonna be crazy. They brought out the big dog. Sugar Crisp up in this piece. Dina Love, whoop. Sean from Oakland, California is on the line. If Sean could call in and Herschel can call in, where are my peoples? Sometimes certainty is not safe. Victory Park. I was raised in that park. Right next to my high school. I was hooping. Sorry.
mate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs, fantasies, and fetishes? Financial infidelity. Are you dating a fat person? Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and you still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like the kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad touch routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man moves on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So William,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
If you're going into a relationship with a checklist, that checklist didn't come out of nowhere. That checklist came from all of your past relationships to improving past trauma into this new relationship. But when you know yourself, you know exactly what you can tolerate, what you will absolutely not tolerate, what will fulfill you and make you feel whole, and what will be an addition to your life, your lifestyle, and who you
Knock it off. What will make you feel whole? We got to start shooting down the stuff that makes no sense. It's not your partner's responsibility to make you feel whole. That's an unrealistic expectation. You are setting up codependency. You know, you make me feel whole and you make me feel complete, and now you're an addict because your dopamine goes through the roof. You get a whole cocktail of hormones shooting through your brain. You're like, yes, this is the one. No, you're an addict. It's blue magic, relationship blue magic. Now you're an emotional dependent. And I'm not saying a little bit of it isn't bad. Like, you can eat a little bit of puffer fish. Go ahead and OD on some puffer fish and see what happens. You're dead. It's a poisonous fish. You know, my mouth is getting numb. Whoa. Yeah. You're about to die. You understand? That's the key. We want a person to make us an addict. I've been saying this for the longest. All the real work and expectations that you have for others is an inside job. Self-worth, self-esteem, self-approval, self-acknowledgement, self-empathy, i.e. self-care. I'm not saying people giving you those things are wrong and that they shouldn't, but I'm saying the primary giver of those things should be you. This is why you go out into the relationship world as a seeker. Like, I'm seeking knowledge? No, I'm seeking validation. I'm seeking acceptance. I'm seeking connection. That's because you're internally disconnected. When you refuse to look at yourself honestly, authentically, truthfully, without judgment, that's a struggle, right? I know people don't want to hear it. Haven't even vetted yourself, and you think you know how to vet somebody else. We got callers on the line. Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee. Herschel, man, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, I got quite a few, but I'm going to start you with this one. All through high school, all through middle school, all through elementary school, every single one of us in the world today knows all those boys and girls that walked into that one classroom and stayed in there all day long. But once you graduate high school, you don't know who the hell that was that walked in and out of that classroom.
Right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is that we are all destroyed because of the fact of what we've gone through with the school systems. And society today as a country we call America. We have been just off of that one first time. And we go into life after high school with those same expectations, but not knowing who those special needs kids were in those classrooms.
Wow.
We were all special needs.
We're all special needs. Keep going. I'm listening. Yeesh.
We're all special needs because at the end of the day, everyone's looking for something to be fulfilled. But no one wants to fulfill, which, like you're saying, no one wants to fulfill it themselves until they're ultimately broken. Then once they're ultimately broken, then they want to say, oh, well, I'm going to go and talk to God, and I'm going to read my Bible, and I'm going to be one with Him and find myself then. Right. In actuality, as a child, we lost that because it was taken from us. And hence the fact of why we're so stuck in what it is we're looking for to gratify what it is we want and need. Because everything we've already wanted and needed has already been given to us. We just don't look at it in that format.
Right. But Herschel, let's come back. We do understand that relationship operates as a mirror. The relationship is the place you come to discover who you are. So we need each other in that sense. Yes, you can go in and discover yourself on your own. But in relationship, through triggers, through bonding, all of that, you can discover who you are, how you show up. Right?
True. But all of those other things that come with the things that you're looking for come from childhood traumas.
Yes. So
whether it was from family or from people from school or outside in the world. So it doesn't matter if it was directly to you or somebody close to you.
Right.
The trauma of what it is that your expectations hold is from what everything is going on around you in society.
Right.
As yourself.
So would you say that the relationship illuminates the pattern, right, you come into the relationship with? The relationship itself, the environment illuminates a pattern that's probably been working, behind the scenes, unconsciously to you.
Just the first time your mother or father disappointed you.
And then when you get into the relationship, something triggers that initial memory, right? Do you see? This is the spiritual purpose of relationship. What are you supposed to do with those patterns that are being illuminated? You tell me.
Trust God's vision, not your own.
You do what?
Trust God's vision, not your own.
I like it. God moves in mysterious ways, right?
God puts everybody and everything in your position at all times, no matter if you like it or not.
And there's a purpose and a reason for that, right? No, listen to me. I hear what you're saying, but I need you to go deeper because you're right there on the precipice.
So, in actuality, how it all boils down is that God wants you to stop following your desires, your wants, your wishes, and follow what desires and wishes He has for you, because at the end of the day, you as the individual do not really know what it is you deserve, because God already gave you everything you deserve. You're just sitting there looking for extra things.
Wait, hold on. You said a lot, and we need to unpack things. Hold on. God already gave you what you deserved. And even if you didn't like it, what you deserved was given to you not to hurt you, but to serve you.
Yes.
You're supposed to be up-leveled by it, right? Okay, we don't know the mind of God, which is why I say God moves in mysterious ways. Do you see? So guess what? Because you're right there, and this is what's happening here. Let me tell you something. You were born into a rhythm, into a pattern. If God moves in mysterious ways and we don't know God's ways, but God wants us to desire the way he has for us, we got to embrace the unknown. We've got to disrupt patterns.
But see, the thing of it is God tells you exactly how he wants you to go. You just don't know how to listen. The majority of us.
So, listen, I'm an old man at this stage of the game. And what I know, God speaks in what I perceive to be a presage. A presage. Now, that's just for me. Maybe God speaks to you using a language. Maybe, you know, in the book of Luke, he gave everybody a tongue, or so certain people got tongues when the gifts were passed out on the 50th day of Pentecost. He said people got gifts, right? Some people could prophesy, some people could speak in tongues, right? Some people were translators of. All I know is God speaks to me in a presage. What is a presage? Something that can't be put into words. More of a feeling.
That's why it's put into dreams. It says it in the Bible.
Do you see?
Everything that he talks to us into a dream, and we have to decipher which part of it is the actual truth, because the devil is always playing to make you think that the worst is going to become the inevitable.
You know, let me go back. You've been here. You've been here. You've been here for a while. I believe that devil we talking about are unhealed traumatic wounds.
Correct.
So that devil is your toxic pattern that you have the power through God to exercise out of yourself. But do we do that?
Majority of us, no.
All right, if we go back to the right, if we go back to the wait, hold on. If we go back to the rite of exorcism, you got to get that demon out of whoever is possessed before that demon does one thing. What is it called?
Take over.
Integrates. Carl Jung, that's the term they use. When the demon integrates into the person with the person's soul, you can't get it out.
Correct.
Carl Jung flipped it the other way and said what? Individuation. You got to go in and individuate that damn shadow.
Yeah. You as the individual have to release those traumas from your past yourself. Can't nobody else do it for you.
Do you see? So otherwise, what happens to your unhealed wounds? What do? They integrate. Listen now, they integrate into your identity. And once they become a part of your ego, your sense of self, what's the one thing the ego does not want? Annihilation. The ego doesn't want to be cast out. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand, but isn't the ego pretty much the Joneses in society today?
No. What in the world?
I mean, in a sense, yes, because
no.
Man or woman, they're following for what it is they want, they're not following for what it is that
the ego. Listen to me now, Herschel. The ego is much more complicated than that. The ego is three-pronged, brother. You got the id, you got the super ego, and then you have the ego. And the ego in the middle is the moderator between the two. The id and the super ego. You got the id, which is instincts. I want to do this. I want that. And I want it right now. Then you have the super ego. No, wait a minute now. Let's think about it. Let's consider the repercussions of doing that. Your ego moderates between the two to try to get a balance, but all three together. And remember, the id and the superego are subconscious. It's not just keeping up with the Joneses and society. Listen, you're a complex being, bro. And if you don't have any self-wins because you haven't gone internally to unpack, unravel, discover, embrace without judgment the patterns that made you who you think you are, right? You're going to go into the relationship. You're going to say, do this for me. Show up like this. Do you understand?
Oh, of course.
Hey, man. Hey, boy, you got to call in more often, man. I love this call. Hey, brother. Herschel, man, I love the tennis match back and forth, brother. Hey, man, I love every minute of it. You got to call in more often. This is great, great, great talk. Listen, guess what you just did?
Put Nashville on the map.
You already know Nashville, Tennessee, the volunteer state in the building. Listen, when we come forward, one of our favorites is on the line. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Herschel, great. Herschel. Herschel, firework, man.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them. On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year.
Hey, this shit fire. Hey, this is a fire topic. Miss Walker, what up? Put up whatever emoji. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Speak to me in emojis. If you're enjoying the topic, put up an emoji. I knowed. Alien talk. I like it. The last spirit, soon, I promise. What does that mean? The last spirit, soon, I promise, though. I don't know what that means. What do you mean, soon, I promise? Did I miss a previous statement? And we must balance our emotion. I don't know what that means. The last spirit. Explain that to me. How you spell what word? Just being VTV, what up? The one you used for your God speak? Presage. Presage. A voiceless word. An event be a sign or warning that something, typically bad. Zoe, what up? Nardo. So I've been listening to you for over 10 years, and I just want to say thank you. Your content, insight, and the lessons you share continue to inspire and challenge me. Much respect for your consistent. Man, thank you, brother. Nardo. Everybody hit the like button. Tell Nardo thanks.
When an avoidant has their fears triggered, they will look for any tiny little fault that they can find in their partner as an excuse to discard them and leave the relationship. This is because the avoidant has paralyzing fear of emotional intimacy, and that if emotional intimacy is building in the relationship, they will look for an exit as the way to keep themselves emotionally safe. This is a person that learned in childhood that emotional closeness means abandonment because their own parents and caretakers were not emotionally there for them. So when the fear gets triggered, they need an exit plan, and they need a way to justify this to themselves so they don't feel like a bad person. They will look for any tiny little fault that they can find in the other person and say, well, look at this, we're incompatible. There's no way this relationship would work. It can be very tiny, petty things. The noises that you make when you eat. Oh, you sip your coffee too loudly. You're too needy. Oh, you text too much. Oh, you want to spend too much time together. It's too much pressure. They will find any little excuse. If they find these excuses, well, that means that they don't have to reflect on why they're ending the relationship. They don't have to self-reflect on their own fears, their own behaviors, and they certainly don't have to take accountability, because that's what avoidants have learned to do. They have learned to avoid processing emotions, avoid dealing with difficult situations, avoid facing accountability. Avoid. That's why they are called avoidants. So this person will look to avoid self-reflection and avoid actually taking accountability for the fact that they're devastating and hurting another person. If they find this fault, well, that's it. They're justified. No need to reflect on it. They can move on with a clear conscience. However, if you got discarded, it's not your fault. If the relationship was going well and you genuinely treated this person well, it's not your fault. It is.
Man. And many times those people come in under the radar. It was all good just a week ago. And the next thing you know, what happened? Do you understand? But I'm digging deeper. Not just the avoidant types when it comes to attachment styles. I'm talking about self-avoidant. The self-avoidant person is going to lean on that person, their significant other, to give, provide. And all I'm saying is, in order to, what are they vetting? Let's just go here. What are they vetting? Are they vetting your ability to provide? What are they vetting? Do you understand? They probably could give two shakes of a fat rat's tail about you, but they might be vetting your ability to be supply. Man, that's heavy, bro. Let me get our brother in here. Long time no hear from. He's back in the fold. We love to hear it. Our brother Sean from the Bay, Oakland in the house. What up, Sean?
Brother Zoe, it's just been, in Zoda, I love you. It's just been, my mom passed peacefully.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and thank you. It's not a bad thing. My mom left me with a legacy that I can pass on, and we had a good situation. We didn't have a bad situation. Mm-hmm. But one of the things she taught me is, be careful when you're doing these things with your kids with performance demands, right? Because really, when you're doing the thinking for your kid and you're doing performance demands, unless it's safety or they're in the street, running in front of a car or they're, doing something to themselves, it would be very unhealthy. Performance demands we need to chill out on. What we need to do is give them an opportunity to think So, you know, you can give them a little bit, and when it comes to talking to them, and say, so what do you think about that? And then let them tell you what they think about that. Because that means their brain gets activated.
Right.
Instead of you doing the thinking for them.
Wait. Stay right there, Sean. Don't go anywhere. I need you to finish that thought because you're on complete fire. When we come forward, back to the Bay Area. Man, when you on the freeway listening to this, hey, we cooking tonight, y'all. We really cooking tonight. Hey, Stephanie, whoever you are, thank you for the Cash App. We got 2 Cash Apps. Herschel, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Whoever you are, Stephanie. I didn't see you in here, but like Herschel, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Empress, we rolling. Thank you. Let's roll. This must mean this topic is resonating in some way, shape, or form. So how do I change an address after an order has been placed? Chris, you have to email me. I don't know if you can change the address. If you've already placed the order, it's already been sent to me. Miss Walker, it's me, Stephanie. Thank you, Miss Walker. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being so generous tonight. Thank you guys for supporting the show. It means the world to me. It means the world because it's not about the money. It's more about, damn, this shit is resonating. This shit is moving, right? It's moving. There's a resonance. That's what matters. I'm just hoping you're welcome. This show is necessary. Thank you. I'm just hoping like people are taking in some of this and seeing it from a different perspective, you know? You want to call back, Herschel? Really? What's on your mind, Herschel? Get at your brother. Miss Walker, if you're classy. Come on, my family are walkers. My mama's side are the walkers. Don't get it twisted. Straight walkers. She might be family. Dirty Red, what up? Herschel back in here. Walkers are intelligent. I can't front. Herschel just wilding. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the Cash Apps. There's several ways to support. You can support via the Super Chat, which you see people doing right now, which is the $ down at the bottom. Or you can send it directly to my Cash App. That's $Zo What Netter. My folks, the moderators are putting in all of the information you need. It looked like they blocking people too. I told y'all I'm on one. Greetings and blessings, chat. What we on tonight? Man, Catching flights over here. We love you, John. John Gilbreth, our brother, is in the building.
KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st
What the what?
at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard
Okay,
Time.
Herschel
My
wilding right now.
clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number, because Ray, he's going to text it live, and the crowd will be sourcing
Herschel is
emojis.
wilding.
Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at the
We appreciate the love and the support for sure.
before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
May it, thank you, Nsinga. May it return to you 100-fold, Herschel. 1,000-fold. Damn.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things.
10,000-fold. Your new name is Herschel Schmoney. That's... All right, here we go. The little... I'm just passing through. I see you have a lot of donations. People really love you. Thank you, James. What up?
Why do anxious preoccupied attachment styles fall into limerence so frequently? This will tell you everything you need to know. Number one, anxious preoccupied attachment styles get into limerence specifically because they are not good at meeting their own needs. The more somebody comes into your life to meet needs for you that you are not meeting in the relationship to yourself, the more into limerence you are likely to fall. Some of the big ones for anxious preoccupieds that cause them to feel so much limerence are if they feel really seen by somebody, really noticed, really heard, really encouraged, really included in a group dynamic, like somebody goes out of their way to bring them into the group and make space for them, and also if they feel like somebody protects them, is looking out for them, helping them set boundaries, or having their back in some kind of way. These are the most common needs that, when met, will cause an anxious preoccupied to fall down the spiral of limerence.
Man, is that Heidi Priebe? Who is that? That's Feet. What's her name? I love her.
Development School.
Yeah, that's Heidi Priebe. Yeah, we use her stuff a lot. We play her stuff a lot. That's Heidi Priebe, and she be cooking. Thais Gibson. Thought it was Heidi Priebe, but that's Thais Gibson. We'll take it. We use her stuff a lot. We play her stuff a lot. She be cooking. She literally summed it up for you. Right? There's a relationship, an intrapersonal relationship with one's self that is often neglected in pursuit of how somebody else is going to show up for you. let me get back to my brother Sean, because Sean was cooking and I want him to get his final thoughts in. Go ahead, Sean. Finish cooking, my friend.
Brother, I love you, and this show, you have to, number one, take care of yourself.
Right.
If you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot help other people get to the point of their enlightenment.
Right.
And that sounds religious, right? But my thing is, be careful with performance demands. Don't tell people what to do and how to do it right at this moment. Guide them into the point where, you're setting an example, and this is how I'm doing it, and then maybe as a role model, they'll follow your lead.
I love it, Sean. I love it, brother. Man, you got to call in more often, man. We miss you.
I know, I will.
Hey, peace to your family and your heart, man. I know you lost your mom, but we understand, man. We ain't got nothing but love for you. You're always welcome to be here. We appreciate you. Sean, guess what you just did?
Love you more. I brought Oakland into the building.
We love it. Oakland is in the building. Yay, area. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Listen, I know sometimes this show can be a little rough, right? And I'm not here to down anybody. But I want you to understand the significance of the platform. What is this platform for? It is to let you know that relationships are a vehicle for self-actualization, self-realization, nirvana, moksha, divine ecstasy. And I'm not just talking about walking on the beach together. I'm saying relationships offer us an opportunity to disrupt the pattern that made us. Do you understand? Listen to these questions. In what ways does your conditioning dictate the extent of your vetting process for potential partners? How might having an unintegrated shadow create biases / blind spots in your vetting system? Many people don't even know to ask these questions because we were taught that relationships, we go and have coffee and we get to know each other. We meet each other in a well-lit place. My friends are following me on my phone. They know my location. Like we get all the superficial stuff lined up, right? But the real reason why you attracted somebody to you and you to them and they to you is because you have no idea what internal stuff is going on that is also relating to that other person. Right? True or false? Ego and fear are integral to the corporate structure of relationship which exists in every facet of life. Until we integrate our shadow, we are both active and passive cogs in its wheelhouse. I don't know. I don't know if you want to hear it put that way. What should be included in a relationship onboarding process? And who's responsible for initiating the relationship onboarding process? Right? Hey, we want to start a relationship. When is it too soon to say how many self-wins do you have? What's your relationship like with your primary caregiver? If you're struggling with your mother, you're damn sure gonna struggle with me. Right? I can't be your mother for you. I can't finish her work. Right? How do you handle conflicting onboarding processes? How soon is too soon to talk about your relationship values, boundaries, or past experiences? What are some green flags people should look for during the onboarding phase? Everybody looks for red flags, But hardly anybody looks for green flags, or maybe they are only looking for green flags. And what if the green flag is they're going to do everything that my wound wants them to do? Watch how this goes down the rabbit hole. This is a perfect person to give me the supply I want. But then what if that person is performing green? They're not actually green, but they've learned enough about you to get a bead on what it is that you're looking for, and they perform green. They show up as green. How much does oxytocin and attachment styles impact your onboarding process? Do you think chemistry is mostly biological, like oxytocin and dopamine, or is it based on shared values and emotional safety? If you come in unsafe, then safety becomes a demand. What? Yeah, because if you're really safe internally, spiritually, psychologically, it is not on the table that this person come in safe. Because guess what? They can be unsafe for themselves and even for you. And guess what you'll automatically do? Move away from them. Your safety intact. If your safety can be co-opted by somebody else, then you were never safe to begin with. Surface safety shouldn't count as safety. You have the power to be at peace internally. And most people are just quiet internally. You understand? How much do your attachment patterns show up in the way you connect with someone new? And are you aware of it in the moment? You think you have the ability to discern. Discernment is spiritual. Relationships are spiritual. And many of you are afraid of the spirit. Look what you did to the Sinners movie. Ooh. Listen, when we come forward, when we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep this fire lit.
Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love.
Look what they did to Jesus.
And everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear.
Uh-oh.
Inside the Voice of Reason with Phil Williams on KBS.
Yo, this shit lit tonight. Boy. I appreciate everybody for showing up, y'all. Jesus didn't man, I'm gone. Jesus didn't swing back is diabolical. Just tell you, Miss Walker is a woman of her word. She was asking people to support the channel by either going to the Cash App or the Super Chat. She went back to the Cash App and dropped another $5. I want to say thank you, Miss Stephanie. Thank you. She gave another $5 to the Cash App. I'm much appreciative. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. I appreciate it. Thank you. She like, I'm not just telling y'all. She about that life, respect. I thank everybody for showing up. I thank everybody for just being here and supporting. Thank you. Herschel, always acting a fool. Nardo. Much respect for your consistency and authenticity, man. Thank you, Nardo. Herschel. I'm just looking at the latest ones, man. Herschel done sent like 5 or 6 of them. Empress. Thank you, Empress. That's as far back as it goes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody in here is love. We got 60 likes. We got 60 people in here. Man, just thank you.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
embodiments of love.
కష్టములకు మనం విచారించకూడదు.
We should not be bothered of these problems.
దుఃఖములకు మనం ఏమాత్రము యోచించకూడదు.
Don't be worried of the difficulties.
ఆనందానికే మనం అరువులు దాచకూడదు.
Don't aspire only to be happy.
ఆనందాన్ని ఏమాత్రము చింతించకూడదు.
Never think about it.
దుఃఖమే నాకు నిజమైనటువంటి యొక్క ఆనందాన్ని అందిస్తుంది.
These difficulties will give me ultimate joy.
దుఃఖం అనేటువంటి ఆనంది ఫలం లోపల,
and this dukkha, the term,
ఆనందం అనేటువంటి ఫలం పై తుప్పినటువంటి త్రోడే దుఃఖము.
the sadness is like the outer skin or the rind
ఆ
of the
తోరును
sweet
మనం బయట
inside.
పారేసినప్పుడే సుఖము అనేటువంటి రసం మనకు లభిస్తుంది.
When once you remove the outer skin of sadness, misery, you can experience
కనుకనే భగవంతుని రసమే సహా అతను రసస్వరూపుడు అన్నారు.
God is rasa, the essence of life.
కనుక రసం ఉండాలంటే దానికి పైన చాలా చేదైనటువంటి వస్తువులు కప్పి ఉండాలి.
In fact, if you want to have the sweet juice inside, you have to remove the bitter skin of the fruit.
అట్టి కఠినమైనటువంటి ఒక దుఃఖం ఉండినప్పుడే మధుమైనటువంటి రసం మనకు ప్రాప్తిస్తుంది.
Then once you remove the bitter skin around, you can have that sweet juice.
Come on, remove the bitter skin so you can have the sweet juice, which is the truth of yourself. Self wins, man. You can do this. Vet yourself. And when you're totally self-aware, you can discern performative actions, performative green flags. Right? Most of us only vet people on the social level. If they say, oh, we're the same religion, you're cool. All right, we equally yoked because we believe the same. Just because you believe the same does not mean you will spiritually achieve the same. You got some people who know how to perform equally yoked. It's an act. It's spiritual theater. It's spiritual thespian, a religious thespian, a dogmatic thespian. Haven't done any work inside. Expect you to do the work for the relationship. When vetting partners through corporate style checklists, does this create the very emotional blind spots we seek to avoid by mistaking trauma hypervigilance for discernment? If you're hypervigilant, you're not discerning. You're in a fear-based mindset. Karn's betrayal trauma meets Krishnamurti's observer is the observed relationship as a mirror. Can over-indexing on STI abuse histories unconsciously rectify victim identities while claiming empowerment? Rothschild's somatic memory meets Lipton's biology of belief. Does demanding transparency about sexual histories paradoxically limit intimacy building capacity by anchoring relationships in forensic accounting versus present moment attunement? Gottman's bid for connection versus Falkut's surveillance society. If secure attachment develops through co-regulation, sure. Does hyper-focus on identifying insecure styles during vetting become self-sabotage by prioritizing categorization over connection? I'm guilty. What you guilty of? Do you understand? Relationships are no joke. You got people out here talking about, oh, if you show up for me the way I need you to, then that's everybody wants that. No! We have to change the rules. Do you understand? We have to change the rules. We construct romantic due diligence processes mirroring corporate HR protocols, sexual history disclosures, becoming background checks, attachment styles treated as credit scores, communication methods analyzed like Six Sigma workflows, right? Yet, tonight's topic, we tried to posit the idea that such an approach to relationship onboarding rituals may create the precise emotional blind spots they aim to prevent, mistaking trauma's hypervigilance for discernment while reinforcing the neural pathways of disconnection. Krishnamurti's assertion that the observer is the observed collides violently with modern vetting practices. When we dissect partners through forensic checklists, James' representative unmasking, we engage not in clear seeing, but in projective alchemy, our unintegrated shadows, Jung via Hawking's, transmuting another's complexity into Rothschild's test of past wounds. Neuroscience reveals that excessive red flag documentation activates the amygdala's threat radar, Vanderklok. Yeah, creating self-fulfilling prophecies where the limbic system requires dangers to justify its vigilance. Right? I know people don't want to hear it put this way. But listen, vet yourself before you vet anyone else. My friend, Dr. Mark Goulston, said something quite powerful. He said, those who are unwilling and incapable of forgiving are unworthy of intimate relationship. If there's somebody in your past, in your formative past, that needs forgiveness, you should do it. It only helps you. It only helps heal you. And we don't have to go down the rabbit hole of what forgiveness is. It's not allowing people to still have access. That's a whole different thing. It's about releasing old patterns, deep-seated issues. You guys have to stop playing with relationships. Listen, you're talking to somebody who played with relationships for a long time, and I'm going to tell you, the lessons hurt deeply. That hurt doesn't go away. I learned a tremendous amount fumbling at the 2-yard line when the game on the line. So I'm not here to come from a position of I know better because I am better. I'm saying I know better because I failed hard. Do you understand? Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. Listen, the voice of reason will be back here tomorrow with another slapper, yo! Great show today. Tomorrow's show cometh. Great show. Love y'all. Appreciate everybody. Just that quick, bro.
Yes, sir.
You under dig.
In and out.
In and out. R Stubbs. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Bouncing like bad checks, y'all. Deuces.